Hello and welcome back to Medium Rare. My name is Rag Reynolds and today we have 4 stories to talk about. But before I get into any of those, I do want to encourage you to check out my Twitter, check out my Instagram, and if you feel like supporting the channel, check out my Patreon. Links to all of these things are in the description down below as always. So the first story we're talking about today is about member of BTS, which is a South Korean boy band. Now a member of BTS known as Jungkook, he was involved in a car crash. And it seems that he is the one who caused this car crash. On November 2nd, Jungkook in his Mercedes apparently hit a taxi driver while violating a traffic law. Both Jungkook and the taxi driver treated for minor injuries, which were bruises. Police were investigating the case. And now, normally that is where this story would end. People would say, oh, this guy caused a car accident, that's not so great. Let's hope that he learned from this and he moves on. But no, that isn't where it ends, because as Kavos has been reporting on Twitter, it seems as though the fans of BTS are spamming keywords with his name to bury this information on Twitter. To hide it from people when they search for his name, they are spamming keywords to try and hide all of this. Kavos, here you can see he has attached a screenshot of some of these fans saying Jungkook Euphoria, Jungkook Begin, Jungkook Happy, Jungkook Smile. It's the same with the tweet underneath that. Okay, clear the searches. Jungkook Baby, Jungkook Adorable, Jungkook Sweet. This is clearly a very, very concerning situation. This is horrible that the fans would actually try and cover this up, but it just goes to show how dedicated some fans of some boy bands or pretty much any celebrity or anything that does exist can be. There were also accounts that have started encouraging people to report and block Kavos so that no one has to see that Kavos is exposing what's going on. They're really trying to cover all of this up. And honestly, it's quite concerning, and it's also quite gross that they would try and cover something like this up. The question I'm left wondering here is, would they cover up something more serious than this? Is this where they draw the line? Where do they draw the line before they would start not covering this stuff up? Where would they stop defending this guy? Would he have to murder someone? Would he have to commit some sort of sexual assault? I mean, are they going to try and cover that up as well? Obviously, these are much more severe instances, and obviously this hasn't happened, but it does leave you wondering, how far will these fans go? Anyway, let me know what you think about all of this in those comments down below. And now our next story is about the Paris Climate Accords. The US has officially notified the UN that they intend to withdraw. The notification begins a 1-year process of exiting the Global Climate Change Accord, culminating the day after the 2020 US election. The US government says the deal puts an unfair economic burden on Americans. The agreement had brought together 188 nations to combat climate change. There has been widespread international condemnation of the US move. Now, if you're not aware of what the Paris Climate Accords actually are, the Paris Agreement's long-term temperature goal is to increase the global average temperature to well below 2 degrees above pre-industrial levels and to pursue efforts to limit the increase to 1.5 degrees, recognizing that this would substantially reduce the risks and impact of climate change. Under the Paris Agreement, each country must determine, plan and regularly report on the contribution that it undertakes to mitigate global warming. No mechanisms forces a country to set a specific target by a specific date, but each target should go beyond previously set targets. So essentially the Paris Agreement makes it so that these nations have to set standards, have to set goals and work towards reducing their country's impact on climate change. Now, the issue that Trump and a lot of other people have with the Paris Agreement is that they think it puts unfair economic sanctions on their countries. I mean, of course, as well, there are a lot of people who are against this Paris Agreement because they just don't believe in global warming or climate change or any of that. Although I don't believe that that is why everyone who is against the Paris Agreement is against the Paris Agreement. I do think that the economic aspect here is a genuine concern. US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said on Monday the agreement had imposed unfair economic burden on the United States. Instead, he said the US would follow a realistic and pragmatic model using all energy sources and technologies cleanly and efficiently. Mr. Trump promised to turn the US into an energy superpower and has attempted to sweep away a raft of pollution legislation to reduce the cost of producing gas, oil, and coal. He has characterized former US President Barack Obama's environmental cleanup plans as a war on American energy. He has also suggested that the Paris Agreement gives China and other big polluters an unfair advantage over the US by allowing them to continue to increase emissions. As far as my opinion here, I think this just comes down to the US in China. And the US see China, Trump sees China, and he thinks, if we stop doing these things, if we put these rules and regulations in place to cut climate change and all this other stuff, China's just going to laugh at us. China is going to try and get ahead of us. That's where we're losing maybe some manufacturing jobs and stuff over there. We're going to lose out on some money, and that's where a lot of this economic burden stuff comes into play. Personally, I'm not really against or for the Paris Agreement. I mean, I think it's a good thing to try and cut down on emissions, and I think to try and slow down at least climate change is a great incentive. I think it's a very good thing to focus on. As to whether the Paris Agreement is the right move to try and do that, I don't know either way. There are people far smarter than me who are making these decisions. I don't really know. But anyway, let me know what you think about all this in those comments down below. Now, our next story is about YouTuber Mr. Metokur. Mr. Metokur is a channel of over 300,000 subscribers, and he recently just posted a video and also posted a screenshot on his Twitter because his channel was just demonetized. And now this has left a lot of people being very confused because, well, let's just read why YouTube said they've demonetized his videos. We'll look at that, and then you'll maybe see why it's a little bit strange. Here's why your channel wasn't approved for monetization. Reused content. Repurposing someone else's content without adding significant original commentary or educational value. So this would imply to me it's almost like infringing on copyright. It's just you're reusing other content and you're putting it up on your channel, not really doing anything to it. You're not putting anything original out there. Okay, that isn't what Metokur does in the first place. I mean, I've watched his videos before. That isn't what he does in the first place, love him or hate him. But what makes this even stranger than just that isn't what he does is there were actually 0 videos on his channel when this email was sent to him telling him that he had been demonetized. Metokur's channel had 0 videos. Yet apparently someone from YouTube has manually flagged his channel to be demonetized because of reused content. Yet there were 0 videos on the channel, and again, love him or hate him, this just leaves people scratching their heads. What is going on there? Like, I can maybe understand if there's 0 videos on a channel, then maybe, yeah, it's going to get demonetized. Like, why is it in the partner program if there are no videos there? Although he does do live streams and then he, I guess, deletes the live streams afterwards and he gets some super chats and stuff through those. But yeah, I can see an argument for the channel being demonetized considering that there really isn't any videos on there. But for YouTube to not say that, oh, well, there's no videos on your channel, that's why you're demonetized, but for them to specifically say, a human being flag this channel and specifically say, you're being demonetized for reused content. That makes no sense to me. That is absolutely baffling. And Metokur also pointed out another absurdity of all of this, and it's that he got super chats in the last live stream he did. He hasn't been paid for those yet. They go over to his Google AdSense account. But now that he's not in the YouTube partner program, those won't be paid out to him. YouTube will keep his money. They will gather interest on his money until the time comes where he is just maybe accepted back in to the partner program. That is honestly ridiculous. That is YouTube just being way out of line, if you ask me. And for the fans as well, I mean, it's not just for Metokur. I mean, just think how mad you would be. If you clicked onto your favourite YouTuber's live stream, you donated, say, $10, $20 in the live stream as a super chat, and then that YouTuber doesn't even get any of it. I mean, it's bad enough because YouTube actually take a large cut of that money in the first place, but then for that YouTuber not to actually get any of it, that is just absolutely ridiculous, and YouTube really needs to get its crap together. I mean, constantly, all we ever hear are bad things about YouTube. When's the last time YouTube did something good? Like, seriously, when's the last time they didn't mess something up? Anyway, let me know what you think about all this in those comments down below. And the final story we're talking about today is Belle Delphine has returned. Yeah, that's right. After a long absence, Belle Delphine has returned. I mean, the last time we heard about Belle was when she was posting a mugshot that turned out to be fake. And prior to that, it was the whole bathwater thing. And then she got banned from her Instagram and all that stuff. But just in the last day, Belle Delphine has returned. And this time to YouTube. She posted a very, very, very bizarre video. Take a look.
And today, we're going to turn them into Belle Delphine. If you want to be a good girl, you must always keep a little space for God in your heart. Now give her lots of little head pats. This makes sure her memory juice comes out. Now let's teach these boys a lesson. Time to take out the rejection clips. Make sure you eat lots of my birthday cake. Wow, your chest is so flat, just like me. Here are some eyelashes, so you can flirt with all the yeah boys.
I do not know how Belle Delphine comes up with this stuff. I mean, I don't know how she even has the stomach to touch and smell and get so close to that chicken the way she does, that raw chicken. That is commitment there. I applaud Belle Delphine. You know, every time I see her do something, I like her a little bit more. I think she is very creative. I think she is providing the whole internet with a lot of very intriguing entertainment, may I say. Anyway, I just hope she's back for a little bit longer. I would like to see her post more sort of YouTube videos like this. Maybe some more creative things other than just, you know, the ludes and that sort of thing. I would like to see her creative side expressed a little bit more like it was in this video. I would like to see more of that stuff from her. Hopefully then as well she wouldn't get banned like she was from Instagram. But I do think she has the potential to be a great YouTube creator. I mean, she does have this really strange brand of humor and strange brand of creativity. So I would like to see more of that. But what do you think about Belle Delphine? Do you like her? Do you hate her? Do you want to see more of her YouTube videos, or do you want her to go back to Instagram and Patreon? Let me know in those comments down below. And now, just before I end today's video, I do want to say that my uploads this week and maybe next as well might be a little bit jittery. They might be a little bit off, and that's because I'm in the process of moving. I'm moving house, so hopefully once it's all done, this whole setup should be a little bit better. I'm in the process of maybe getting better equipment over the next couple of months and stuff as well. Hopefully the whole production value of the channel should raise and raise, as it already has been since I started it. Over time, that should skyrocket. But yeah, so if my uploads are less frequent this week and next, or if my videos are a little bit off, that is why. It's because I'm moving and I've got all the stress that comes along with that. Anyway, make sure to let me know what you thought about any and all of the stories we talked about here today. Make sure to leave a thumbs up if you haven't already. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on that notification bell. And if you want to support the channel, check out the links in the description down below. And until next time, my name is Rag Reynolds, this was Medium Rare, and you are welcome, society.